The Super Nintendo is an awesome 16-bit console that delivered some of the greatest games ever made, but how crazy is it that amongst the best of the best, some beautiful top-tier titles never left their nation of origin? Delving into the realm of Super Nintendo games exclusively released in Japan conjures a sense of mystery and nostalgia. The Super Famicom, as it was known in Japan, bestowed upon gamers a trove of enchanting titles that never made their way to international shores. Many of these titles tantalize players in their home region with exclusivity, rendering them mythical gems for most of the global gaming community. So, with that said, join me today as I begin to scratch the surface of this lesser explored section of gaming history. I am Lady Decade, and these are some of the most physically stunning 16-bit Nintendo games that the West couldn't play. Ganbare Goemon 2 Very Strange General McGinness is a video game that is part of the Ganbare Goemon series, also known as the Mystical Ninja series outside of Japan. The game was developed and published by Konami and released on the hardware in late 1993. We may have got this game's predecessor on our shores, but this entry is graphically an absolutely huge step up, and gameplay wise it massively mixes things up too. Ganbare Goemon 2 showcases a dynamic gaming experience with an overworld map reminiscent of the structure found in Super Mario World. The game follows a structured order of worlds, each housing a diverse array of elements. In a departure from its predecessors, players have the option to revisit and replay levels, another aspect in common with Mario World. Building on such influences, the unlocking of hidden areas is also possible, which is facilitated through the exploration of alternate routes, adding a layer of complexity to the gameplay. Combat mechanics involve fundamental actions like moving, crawling, jumping, and attacking. Characters can choose between short-range weapons or projectiles, the latter requiring the expenditure of in-game coins. The overworld map not only serves as a navigational hub, but also includes towns separated from the stages. In these towns, characters can engage in various activities such as purchasing food, armor, and items, resting at inns, or saving progress through a battery backup system. Each world culminates in a challenging castle housing formidable bosses. Some regions present a unique twist, concluding with a battle against a giant robot. To defeat these mechanical behemoths, players take control of Goemon Impact, shifting the game perspective to a first-person view. Goemon Impact employs a range of powerful attacks, including punches, giant coin projectiles reminiscent of Goemon's own, and a devastating bomb attack. The ability to guard adds a tactical dimension to these epic encounters. With a recently created fan translation finally being accessible 30 years later, we can also finally get to grips with this game's wacky plot. This insane story perhaps helps explain why we missed this one in Europe, America, and elsewhere. Essentially, the story revolves around the tranquility of Japan being under grave threat from Western General McGinness and his peculiar army of bunny men. These sassy weirdos are hell-bent on imposing westernization upon the culturally rich nation, potentially spoiling it forever. The narrative tension rises as McGinness's true motives unfold, revealing a deeper layer to his villainy. The clash of traditional Japanese values with the encroaching wave of westernization adds a nuanced dimension to the plot, making Ganbare Goemon 2 not only an action-packed adventure, but also a commentary on cultural identity and the clash of ideologies. This game is as exciting and addictive as it is stunning. Give it a try. Spriggan Powered is a shoot-'em-up developed by Micronix and published by Naxat Soft. It features incredible visually appealing stages and backdrops, with gameplay of the same standard to match. The scrolling is excellent and the settings are beautiful. In terms of gameplay, players assume control of a flying mech with the objective of navigating through enemies and defeating the boss at the end of each of the 6 stages. Each stage includes a mid-boss halfway through and an end boss. The controls involve the D-pad for maneuvering the mech character across a 2D plane, the B button button for firing the primary weapon and activating a super attack when held, and the A button for initiating the character's shield. The game's weaponry system includes a main gun that begins as a standard machine gun type but can be upgraded by collecting coloured orbs. The different orbs cause the weapon to upgrade in distinct ways. The game is simple in premise and superb in execution, and due to its remarkable look, I thought it was definitely worth highlighting in this upload. Seiken Densetsu 3, known as Trials of Mana, stands out as an action role-playing game developed and published by Square. Initially released in 1995, it serves as the third installment in the Mana series, following Secret of Mana, a beloved classic for the same system that is heavily celebrated in the West. The gameplay in this even better looking sequel revolves around real-time combat with a party of 3 characters. Players have the freedom to choose their main character and 2 companions from a pool of 6 possible protagonists, each possessing unique storylines and abilities. A distinctive feature is this game's class system, which allows characters to change classes as they progress and provides new skills and attributes. This offers a high level of customization, enhancing the overall gameplay experience. Seiken Densetsu 3 is renowned for its vibrant graphics and captivating music. Leveraging the capabilities of the Super Famicom, the game delivers a visually appealing experience that complements its engaging gameplay. While initially released only in Japan, an official English version of the game became available in 2019 as part of the Collection of Mana for the Nintendo Switch. Building on this exciting revelation further, in 2020 Square Enix unveiled a full 3D remake of Trials of Mana for modern platforms such as PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch and Microsoft Windows. The remake featured updated graphics, voice acting and various enhancements while staying true to the original story, but no matter which version of the game you pick up, this title has been stunning since 1995. Rockman and Forte, also known as Mega Man and Bass, in North America and Europe, stands out as a distinctive entry in the Mega Man series developed by Capcom. Initially released for the Super Famicom in Japan in 1998, the game later found its way to a broader audience when it was ported to the Game Boy Advance in 2002. Interestingly, graphically, it does not look like Mega Man 7, nor does it look like any of the Mega Man X games on the system, but impressively, it looks and plays more like Mega Man 8 for the more advanced Sony PlayStation. Such an aesthetic, though, kind of makes sense when you consider that such a title came out 4 years into the PlayStation's life cycle and nearly a decade into the Super Nintendo's. What sets this installment apart is its introduction of 2 playable characters, Mega Man, Rockman, and Bass, Forte, each offering a unique gameplay experience. In classic Mega Man fashion, the game structure involves defeating a roster of robot masters in any preferred order, obtaining their specialized weapons, and eventually confronting the final boss's formidable fortress. As impressive as this game looks, gameplay-wise, it is sadly probably the weakest Mega Man game available on the platform and is frustratingly unbalanced and difficult at times. Still, it's an incredible curiosity and awesome to know that Japan got a Mega Man game for the hardware, which we didn't have. The Tales series of role-playing games have been pretty popular in the West on more hardware, but what not everyone may realise is that this gorgeous series began its life back in the 16-bit age. Tales of Fantasia, developed by Wolf Team and published by Namco, is celebrated for its real-time battle system, which was innovative at the time, along with its engaging storyline that kept players even more interested. The story follows a young swordsman named Cress Albane, who, along with his friends, embarks on a quest to save the world from an evil sorcerer named Deus. The game features a mix of traditional turn-based and action RPG elements, with a linear motion battle system that allows characters to move in real time during battles. Tales of Fantasia captivates players with its visually enchanting world. It boasts vibrant and expressive sprites for characters and enemies set against a backdrop of diverse and well-designed landscapes. The attention to detail is evident in the smooth animation animations, particularly during a real-time battle sequence where attacks and spell effects unfold with fluidity and flair. Character designs are intricate, with detailed portraits conveying the personalities of each party member during dialogue. The enemy roster is creatively crafted, featuring imaginative designs that enhance the visual spectacle of battles. Noteworthy is the commitment to small details, such as changing the time of day and weather effects, which contribute to the immersive atmosphere. The world map itself is a memorable canvas, showcasing distinct regions and landmarks that beckon players to explore. The game was, of course, well received for its graphics, music, and gameplay. Fortunately for those who missed this incredibly, historically important title, the title was later ported to various platforms including the PlayStation, Game Boy Advance, and PSP, and it eventually saw international releases on such platforms. Mobile Suit Gundam Wing Endless Duel for the Super Famicom is a visual masterpiece that captures the essence of the iconic anime series in breathtaking detail. The pixel artistry of the game is nothing short of stunning, with meticulously crafted sprites that bring the mobile suits to life in vibrant and expressive fashion. The attention to detail in the character designs, animations, and backgrounds showcases the dedication of the developers to recreate the Gundam Wing universe on the 16-bit platform faithfully. This fighting game from the creators of the Power Rangers fighting games for the hardware features rich, vivid colours, immersing players in a world where the intense battles between the iconic mobile suits unfold with cinematic flair. Each mobile suit is rendered with precision, featuring distinctive designs and fluid animations that make every move a visual spectacle. The dynamic use of colours and effects during special moves adds an extra layer of excitement, creating a feast for the eyes with explosions, energy beams, and other dazzling visual elements. The background stages are no less impressive, featuring diverse and atmospheric settings that transport players to different locations within the Gundam Wing universe. From futuristic cityscapes to outer space battlegrounds, each stage is a work of art, enhancing the overall aesthetic appeal of the game. Furthermore, the game's soundtrack complements the visual beauty with stirring tunes that evoke the epic nature of the Gundam Wing series. Mobile Suit Gundam Wing Endless Duel stands as a testament to the artistic capabilities of the Super Famicom, delivering an underrated gem during the golden era of 2D fighting games. If you grew up with the Super Famicom in Japan, you might have also had a Satellaview. The Super Famicom Satellaview was an add-on peripheral for the Super Nintendo, released in 1995 by Nintendo in collaboration with the satellite broadcasting company Saint Giga, which used satellite broadcasting to deliver digital content, including games, to users' consoles. One of the most visually pleasing games available through such a service was 1996's Treasure Conflix from Square. While the company would mainly deliver RPGs to us during the 16-bit era, as a change of pace, Treasure Conflix would be an aerial dogfighting simulation game. However, to be fair, unsurprisingly, the game would include RPG elements regardless. The gameplay consists of 3 parts: exploring towns, searching for treasures using clues, and engaging in combat. In towns, players interact with NPCs, buy upgrades, and participate in auctions. The exploration phase involves navigating the world of Walden to find treasures based on acquired clues. Combat is a crucial aspect required for the game's progression, with the player facing sky pirates and bosses. The game's length depends on the player's ability to decipher clues and find corresponding locations. Optional treasures contribute to income for ship upgrades, and combat difficulty varies based on the player's ship upgrades. Despite being a relatively short game, sometimes the best things can come in small packages, and Treasure Conflix is a little slice of beauty. Chaos Seed Fuusui Kairoki emerges as a visual treat for the Super Famicom, making its dazzling debut exclusively in Japan in 1996. Crafted by the skilled hands of Neverland Co. and presented to the world by Taito, this title transcends traditional boundaries with its exceptional blend of simulation, role-playing, and strategy, all wrapped up in a visually stunning package. At the core of Chaos Seed, players assume the role of a protagonist charged with the intricate task of constructing and managing a dungeon. The game unfolds with a rich blend of dungeon creation, resource management, and strategic combat. Players are empowered to meticulously customize their dungeon layouts, recruit a diverse array of monsters, and partake in intense battles against valiant heroes daring to infiltrate their subterranean domain. One standout feature of Chaos Seed is its dynamic world-building system. The very layout and contents of the dungeon can undergo dynamic changes based on the player's decisions and actions throughout the game. This dynamicity extends to the narrative, which can branch in different directions depending on the choices made by the player. Despite earning acclaim for its groundbreaking gameplay and the seamless amalgamation of genres, Chaos Seed retained its status as a Japan exclusive release, remaining a hidden gem confined to the shores of its island nation. Shuna Ninja Sasuke, which translates to Boy Ninja Sasuke, emerges as a delightful and action-packed brawler brought to life by Sunsoft. In this enthralling adventure, players step into the nimble shoes of the titular ninja, tasked with the heroic mission of rescuing the daughter of a local lord. The journey unfolds against the backdrop of relentless hordes of masked bandits, cunningly orchestrated by a mysterious warlord whose identity adds an intriguing layer of suspense to the narrative. Embarking on this solo quest or opting for a dynamic duo experience, the game is fast-paced, urging players to embrace a dynamic approach by executing swift running, jumping and aerial attacks. Interestingly, plans were once afoot to bring this exhilarating Boy Ninja Sasuke experience to the US SNES audience through a localization effort. Unfortunately, this endeavor was ultimately abandoned, leaving fans to ponder the potential reception and impact the game might have had in a broader gaming landscape. Nevertheless, the legacy of Shuna Ninja Sasuke endures, celebrated for its engaging gameplay, memorable characters, and the untold stories that lie within the masked shadows of its pixelated world. Star Ocean for the Super Famicom not only revolutionized RPG gameplay, but also showcased stunning visuals that pushed the limits of the Super Nintendo Entertainment System's capabilities. Released in 1996, the game's graphical prowess was a testament to the technical capabilities of the hardware and the creativity of its developers at Tri-Ace. The game's visual appeal lies in its vibrant and detailed pixel art, which brought the expansive universe of Star Ocean to life on the 16-bit console. Each environment, from lush forests to futuristic cities, was meticulously crafted, immersing players in a visually diverse world. Character sprites were intricately designed, which added a layer of dynamism to the real-time battles, enhancing the overall gaming experience. Star Ocean demonstrated the Super Famicom's capacity for conveying a sense of scale and depth as players explore varied landscapes and encounter a diverse cast of characters. The game's use of colour, lighting effects and intricate background designs contributed to creating a visually engaging atmosphere, elevating it beyond the graphical standards of its time. The real-time battle system, a standout feature of Star Ocean, not only offered innovative gameplay but also showcased impressive visual effects. Special attacks and spells were accompanied by dazzling animations, adding a layer of spectacle to the combat encounters. The seamless transition between exploration and battle scenes, coupled with the attention to detail in character and enemy designs, further emphasised the graphical excellence of the game. Despite being confined to the hardware limitations of the Super Famicom, Star Ocean managed to deliver a visually stunning experience that captivated players and set a high standard for RPGs on the platform. The combination of innovative gameplay and eye-catching visuals contributed to the game's legacy, laying the foundation for success of the Star Ocean series in subsequent generations of gaming platforms. The scale of this game was possible thanks to a special compression chip that stored the game's data, allowing this title to push the very limits of the hardware. Super Famicom games do not look better than this. Anyway, those are the Super Famicom exclusives that I find the most stunning. Do you agree with my picks? Comment below, and if you enjoyed this upload, check out my video on the Super Nintendo games that Europe got but North America didn't. See you soon.